and that number.
But Isa Torres is one of. Let's get it rolling here. MVP for Lonnie Alameda. And we are set to go in Tallahassee. This should be a great Sunday around the nation. Let's get it rolling here. Just after noon Eastern time from Tallahassee in the batter's box. Isa Torres in the first pitch of this regional final on the way, and it is ball one, and off we go. The Austin area native from Georgetown, Texas, has 2 hits in each of the 2 games played by Florida State, including a triple and double for her 2 hits against RMU. And she cranks one deep center field, and that's the way the game begins. Isa Torres, her 9th of the year. Two pitches into the game, 1-0 Seminoles.
What a season for Isa Torres. A dynamic leadoff hitter, takes this pitch down in the zone, opposite way, gets her barrel on plane, is able to elevate it over the fence. Isa Torres means so much to her team on defense and offense, sets the tone every game. What a way to get it done here early.
I know I've said it numerous times this weekend, Carol, but Isa Torres is one of the top 5 players in all of college softball for me.
Without a doubt, what she does on the defensive side of the ball, and most importantly, what she brings this team on the offensive side of the ball.
And they're wanting the curtain call. And Isa complies, because they were not going to shut up until she got out of the dugout. Trust me.
This crowd was lined up 2 hours before the game. They are so excited to see their Seminoles playing at home.
That ball's cranked to right field. Leaping catch by Isis Tresvik, who uses her athleticism to take extra bases away from Kerr.
Well, 2 quality at-bats here for the Seminole hitters, but an even better catch from Isis Tresvik. Times her jump perfectly as she's running back. She's got a good beat on the ball, gets full extension to make that catch, really robbing Kerr of extra bases.
There's Katie Dack, the right fielder. By the way, to be fair to the Seminole fans, Carol, we got here 2 hours before the game and they were lined up, so they might have been here a lot earlier than that.
That is fair. That is a good point. They had their chairs set up. I mean, these people are dedicated here in Tallahassee. They love their Seminole softball team, and they've had a chance to watch a lot of postseason softball in May here at Joanne Graff Stadium.
Rainey misses down in the dirt. Seminoles team, they beat Robert Morris 10-1 in 5 innings on Friday, and run rolled USF in 6 innings yesterday, 8-0. For Florida State, when you include this top of the first of this game, have come up 11 times to hit, and they have scored in 9 of those 11 innings.
They just put the pressure on up and down through the lineup. So prepared for every at-bat. I mean, they score early in games as well, and you don't see that from teams consistently throughout the season like you do with Florida State. Just their scouting reports, their preparation coming into the game, they do not waste any time getting on the scoreboard. They've done so again here today.
Cue ball off the end of the bat to first base. Annalie Adams takes it herself. 2 down. That's going to bring up the leader of the Noles, catcher Michaela Edenfield.
Now that is number 51, Michaela Edenfield. So good. I got you here.
And he pours in a first pitch strike. A couple of singles so far for Edenfield. Both came in the win over USF yesterday. She went 2 for 4 in that game with an RBI.
I like what Rainey's trying to do here. She's trying to mix speeds. When you've got a team that's as aggressive as Florida State early in most games, as we talked about, they like to score early. They get on the board early. The best way to disrupt that timing is bring that changeup into your arsenal early in the game.
Let's see if this is playable. Lisenby able to make the catch right near the screen. So after the dramatic home run, they keep him off the board the rest of the way. But Torres, her second career game leadoff homer.
How about this from Issa Torres? The best thing to do if you're a home run hitter, get on the board first. Familiar territory for Auburn. This is a team that has clawed and scratched and fought their way back in a lot of games this season. So they're comfortable being in uncomfortable positions. Not ideal to be down when you're coming up to bat for the first time, but it's not uncharacteristic for Auburn.
You sound like a coach. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. I think you've done that profession. Peralta takes a strike from the lefty Apsel. Apsel spent 4 seasons at Hofstra. Transferred over this year to Florida State. Peralta's bat started to come alive at the end of the day yesterday.
That sure did. Came up in a lot of RBI situation early in this regional. Earlier games came up a little short. Not yesterday in that final elimination game of the day. Came up big for her team.
And the crowd thought that was a strike on the outside corner. They rumble their frustration. Lead umpire in this game is Robbie Guest, part of our 4-person umpiring crew. 3-1 to Peralta leading off.
Well, when you're facing a pitching staff like Florida State, you better be ready to take that bat off your shoulder. They are second in the country in terms of fewest walks allowed as a team. So they really know how to hammer that strike zone. So if you're Auburn, you're swinging.
And the patient Peralta takes down low, ball 4. And the leadoff batter is aboard for the Tigers.
That's something you just don't see from Florida State often. So that is just a very patient at bat from Peralta. And a good opportunity here to get right back, answer right back in this game.
An impressive true freshman, Annalie Adams at the plate. Winter freshman year, first team all SEC. And a homer and 3 hits against Robert Morris in their first game yesterday. Had big 2-run single late in the game and extra innings to beat USF in the late game last night. She is a very precocious freshman.
And just so impressed with her as a hitter. I mean, she is a savvy young lady, understands the strike zone, has good plate discipline. You don't see that a lot in freshman hitters. It's a big adjustment to come in and learn how to hit against the elite pitchers day after day you're seeing. And Coach Lonnie Alameda heads out to the circle, noticing Apsel falling behind is very uncharacteristic for her. And really, a lot of those pitches have not been competitive, Mark, in the circle. Just a little bit of a redirect there from Coach Alameda.
Of the 8 pitches for Apsel, 6 have been out of the strike zone. So that merited the early visit from head coach Lonnie Alameda, who also handles the pitching as well and calls the pitches. A 2-ball, no strike count on Adams. That darts inside, 3-0. You knew the crowd would react to that. 3 balls and a strike.
Everybody's an umpire today.
Yes. Absol readies for a 3-1 pitch to Annalee Adams. Got jammed. Slow roller. Beecham gets the out at second, and they turn it into 2. Well, what might have been ball 4, and Adams got herself all tied up, and the slow roller turns into a twin killing.
Well, typically the ball has to be hit pretty hard for a double play. Beecham, this ball's not hit hard, and she moves to her left. So the ball's on the ground a long time, but it's the accurate throws from Florida State, getting that throw up by the eyes for Hartley to turn 2. And what a way to help out Absol, who struggled a little bit early. The first 2 hitters, the defense steps up behind her with 2 quick outs.
Big rip by McCrary at the first pitch. It was the 13th double play of the season turned by Florida State. Here's KK. Had a home run. One of the off speed taken for a strike. And now here's Absol. Suddenly perhaps a pitch away from getting through this bottom of the first.
And the first time she's really been ahead in the count, 0-2, taking charge of this particular at-bat.
One thing Auburn has done so far in this regional is hit well with 2 outs.
Softball regionals are presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Always a good crowd at Joanne Graf Field in Tallahassee. This game headed to the top of the 2nd inning. 1-0 Florida State. Noles are the visiting team technically. They're busy on the parking deck across the street. LSU lost for a 2nd time to Southeastern Louisiana. That eliminated LSU. Liberty upset the 1 seed A&M, so Aggies have to win twice today to advance. And you and I were watching that Arkansas come back. It's Oklahoma State. Got 3 other hosts needing to win twice. 13, 14, and number 16 national seeds. Make it to the Supers.
And if that doesn't say parity, I don't know what does. Very exciting time for softball fans.
So you got the possibility of the 1 seed and the 16 seed nationally going down today. Well, we'll see how it plays out. So, there's Hallie Waycaser leading off. Rolls with the 5, 6, and 7 hitters. Shot fouled on the right field side. Got Haley facing Hallie. Make sure we get that straight. That's inside. The pitcher, Haley Rainey, playing for a 3rd different team. She started in the Big Sky at Idaho State, played her freshman season there, then went to Cal State Fullerton in the Big West. Was the Big West Player of the Year, Pitcher of the Year last year. Now in her first season with the Tigers.
Been in a lot of big games throughout her career in those championships, and Auburn turns to her today. You know, we anticipate down the road potentially seeing S.J. Guerin. That's been what Auburn's been doing at this regional tournament. It's worked very well for them, but Rainey with the start.
That's down low. Rainey, really kind of an Army brat, born in Germany on a U.S. Army base. He's lived in 5 states, a couple different countries growing up. A 3-2 pitch. Seventh pitch of this at bat for Waycaser coming. Chop towards third, right near the bag. Anna Waller's across the diamond a little high, and Adams able to reach up, bring it down on the bag. Well, the Women's College World Series returns to Oklahoma City, and the action begins Thursday, May 29th, noon Eastern, live on ESPN. more information on the 2025 Women's College World Series, go to ncaa.com. That's your official online home for all 90 NCAA championships. Big day for Amaya Ross yesterday with her first career multi-homer game. Jordan's up and takes a ball. Well, since the season-ending injury to Florida State's Kennedy Harp, it has really been a work in progress of trying to fill that hole, and it seems, Carol, like that hole can be filled, hopefully from Florida State's perspective, from a couple of different players. Yeah,
we've seen them use a lot of players throughout the lineup.
That's a Peralta at short. She throws out Ross.
You know, every time Florida State has played in this region, a little bit of a different offensive lineup, and it's an opportunity for players like Ross to step up. She's a player who's been in this program a long time, really a role player. Her first 2 seasons really stepped in more of a starting role this year. And they're going to need that. You just don't lose a Kennedy Harp and you have to replace her by committee a little bit.
Yeah, Kennedy suffered a season-ending injury April 27th against Louisville. It's in 412, 9 homers, 49 RBIs, 10 triples. Playing a great center field. Have to replace that. Beecham takes down in the dirt 2-0, and the catcher Lisenby goes out to the circle.
And the other thing with losing Kennedy Harp to that season-ending injury, she started every game at center field.
Yep.
And when you all of a sudden have to shift your outfield a little bit, and that forces you to think about a new DP and just various things. But this Florida State team, we've higher roster in each of their run rule victories because they all can do something to help the team win. And we see it all the time. They're pulling out their lineup card. You've got a base runner. You've got a pinch hitter. You know, the pitching staff certainly rotates every game, but when you are trying to make a deep postseason run, you have to rely on the depth of your roster. The bottom part of your batting order has to step up, and we've seen that from Florida State already in the first 2 games of this regional.
Well, Riker Chasen, the first-year pitching coach for Auburn, who came over from Ole Miss, made the visit out to the circle. Readies us for the 2-0 pitch to Jason Beecham. By the way, Lisenby, the catcher, again, she has the issue with the return throw back to the pitcher, so you'll see her all through the game shorten up that throw. Has no issue if it comes to throwing to second base on a steal attempt or anywhere else. Beecham went down after it, and it's gone from 2-0 to 2-2.
And that's what Rainey can do. If she gets that strike call in the bottom part of the zone with the drop ball, then she can bring it down a little bit, make that adjustment. That last pitch to Beecham, not a strike. Beecham trying to protect, swings and misses.
Didn't miss by a lot off that outside corner, but a pretty good 2-strike pitch. And it has gone full on Jason Beecham. Florida State leading 1-0. Isa Torres led off the game with a home run. We give a salute to the fire folks, the rescue unit out there. Just did the smart thing, brought an umbrella. Even though it's been a little overcast, which we don't mind. There's ball 4. First walk handed out by Rainey. She had set down 5 in a row since Torres' home run. It gives up the 2-out free pass. Angeli Bueno batting in the 8th spot, playing first base, steps in. Bueno 1 for 3 yesterday against USF, 1 for 5 so far in this regional.
Florida State so disciplined in the zone, such a good understanding of the strike zone. They really make pitchers work. Rarely swing at pitches outside of the zone. That's why at this time of the season they have 50 more walks than they do strikeouts as a team. You don't see that very often this late in the season. Shows you their good plate discipline.
That's in the dirt, picked up by Lisenby. A late throw down to second, so a wild pitch advances Beecham in his scoring position.
And that one pretty obvious there. Ball in dirt, especially heading to second base. That's a long throw for the catcher. No hesitation from Beecham. It's what Florida State does so well. They are hunting that extra 60 feet every chance they get.
22nd pitch of the inning from Rainey is out of the zone again, and it's back-to-back 2-out walks. I would assume here, Carol, that one of the things that Auburn co-head coaches Chris Malveaux and Kate Malveaux are dealing with, how much length can they get out of Haley Rainey here? Because S.J. Guerin, who's been really their workhorse, has thrown a bunch of pitches and innings in this regional. Yeah,
and we saw that yesterday. They started Isis Tresvik, and she has not pitched a whole lot this season as well, just trying to save S.J. Guerin's arm from going into a circle, which he's done so often this season. 5th in the country in terms of pitching appearances.
And you see S.J. getting loose already in the bullpen. Well, Hartley was due up, but they're going to bat with Annie Potter here. And suddenly Rainey's really having the command issues. Ball one.
And you might think, this is the first time through the batting order. Why are we seeing a pinch hitter? Well, that's what Florida State does. If the opportunity presents itself where they feel like they have a good matchup, doesn't matter who's up, doesn't matter what the situation. And when you're in the dugout over there, you've got to be ready because your name is going to be called.
Squares, but takes inside, ball two. Potter pinch hit in Florida State's first game of this regional against Robert Morris and had a base hit. Was used as a pinch runner and played some left field yesterday against USF. That's 3-0. And after the game leadoff homer by Torres on the second pitch of the game, it seemed like Rainey had settled down, got the next 3 in the first, got the first 2 here in the second. It was in danger of loading the bases with 3 walks here. It's the inside corner.
Well, on this out, this hitter is an important batter for Auburn. Isa Torres is in the on-deck circle, and she has just had a monster season. She's continued that pace throughout the NCAA regional, led off this game with a home run.
That ball's hit the left field. Oh, what a catch by KK McCrary. That is a huge defensive play to get him out. Team has done that more in all of D1 than Auburn.
I mean, some teams are just comfortable. It takes them a minute. It takes them getting behind to really jumpstart them into that success. And as a coach, I don't know, that'll make you crazy. You're thinking, let's get out and let's jump out to the lead. But at the end of the day, you want to earn that victory. And this Auburn team is gritty. They are feisty. They know how to fight. They know how to come from behind and outlast teams to earn the victory.
Anna Wohlers fouls the first pitch back. Auburn, the home team in this game here in Tallahassee. The 4, 5, and 6 hitters. Wohlers, then Rose Roach, and Amelia Leck coming up in this frame for the Tigers. Julia Absol got a little bump in the road in the first inning. We got the help of a double play on a 3-2 pitch to Annalie Adams. Faced the minimum 3 hitters in the first. Looked like she went around and did so.
And that pitch is the difference maker for Julia Absol. Sure, she throws upper 60s every pitch, has high velo. You got to catch up with her speed and her movement, but she can complement that with an off-speed pitch on any count for a strike, as she just did on that last pitch.
Bowlers who played a couple seasons at DePaul. In her second campaign with Auburn. Takes the 2-2 on the outside edge for strike 3. Gets Wohlers looking. Second strikeout for Apsel.
Just a much better start for Apsel. Really uses every pitch in her arsenal for this strikeout. This is a low rise ball right at the top of the strike zone. That's what makes Apsel so tough to hit. And if you're a hitter, you just got to get your barrel on plane. You got to get it there quickly. She's going to supply a lot of power, but you got to get out in front of the ball.
Left-handed hitting Rose Roach takes a strike. Rose has hit safely in all 3 games Auburn's played in this regional, with 5 hits in the regional. And when you tack in the end of the regular season and the 1 game they played in the SEC tournament, she has a 7-game hitting streak. Apsel seems to be finding her groove here.
Much more comfortable this inning, and sometimes that's what you need is a little reset. And look, every pitcher knows in the first inning you're getting used to the strike zone, getting used to the hitters, how you're feeling that day.
Rolled over on it out to second base. Potter, who stayed in the game and is playing second, fields that ground ball. 2 down. It's going to bring up Amelia Leck, who had 2 home runs on the season coming into this regional, and she's hit 3, including 2 in 1 game against USF on Friday.
She has been on fire and swinging the bat with confidence, getting to the zone early, elevating the ball. She's come up in some big moments for Auburn, and she has delivered to get them to the regional final.
It's really been her best weekend of the season. 5 for 9 combined with 5 RBIs. Most in any weekend she's had, and she somehow avoided that. And the umpires are going to meet.
There's a conversation, is this a foul ball? Did she get out of the way? Was it just a ball? She certainly didn't get hit by the pitch.
Well, you hit the bat. Umpires confer and they say, yes, that is a foul ball and a strike. Now Leck is questioning. And says, okay. Gives a friendly little tap to Robbie Guest and says, let's carry on. Leck was 0 for her last 11 in the 5 games prior to this regional, but has turned it on here in Tallahassee.
Now, when you're facing a power hitter that's in a groove like Amelia Leck, she's been getting good extension on the bat. No surprise here that Apsel is coming inside with her high velo, trying to get in on her hands, not let her get that barrel extended.
Apsel has fanned 3 of the last 4 Tiger hitters and sets them down in order in the second.
Apsel finding her rhythm here in the second inning. Goes upstairs. Big strikeout on the power hitter for Auburn.
Auburn on the second pitch of the game off Haley Rainey. Would they leave Rainey in? The answer is no, as S.J. Guerin takes over in the circle. It has been a busy weekend for S.J. Guerin, and it's just going to get even more busy today.
Yeah, she is one of the top pitchers in terms of appearances. Auburn has relied on her all season long, and no different here in the regional. She's logged a lot of innings so far.
Punted foul by Torres.
And I like this change heading over to Guerin from Rainey. Not only, as you mentioned, Mark, because Issa Torres led off the game with a home run against Rainey, but because she has a completely different look, not only going from the right side to the left side, which Guerin is, but she throws in the low 60s, a curve rise mix, but it's the mix of speeds. You're going to see 3 different speeds from Guerin, and she's one of the toughest pitchers in the SEC to hit because of her ability to mix speeds. I would call her a junk baller, just a real spinny pitcher, and you've got to really focus as a hitter, see the ball all the way in, especially with 2 strikes, put that slower speed ball into play.
Little tap out in front of the plate. Lisenby did everything she could, but Torres, with her speed coming out of that side of the batter's box, wasn't even close.
Well, this is a great location from Guerin. It's low and away. Torres has to reach for it. But you want to know why she has more hits than anyone else in the entire country? This is why. Not only the home run power we saw in the first inning, but the speed to beat out the infield single that you see here in the third.
Kerr bunts it. Adams throws to Roach, and a sacrifice. Those advance Torres down to second.
Little smiles from Janai Kerr on that one. That was more of a self-defense bunt. I mean, she kind of made up her mind early, and the ball was coming right at her. She was able to get it down.
Well, Torres in scoring position for Katie Dack. Time called. You know, we saw that little smirk from Torres when she got down to first base. First time up, she hits one about 220 feet for a home run. Second time up, full swing, it goes about 3 feet on the ground, and she gets another hit.
Yeah, we call that a swinging bunt.
Yes.
And when you're on offense, you love them. You're like, way to make something happen. And that's the kind of year that Isa Torres is having. She does make things happen every time she swings the bat. And when you're on defense, I mean, that was a great pitch by Guerin. As you mentioned, they couldn't have played it any better, but that's what speed can do for you. Speed never takes a day off. Isa Torres now in scoring position.
Nicely stabbed by Lisenby to keep that from going to the backstop. Dack grounded out to the right side, her first time up today. Guerin threw 102 pitches on Friday in relief against South Florida. Yesterday pitched in both games, 41 in the first, 85 in the second. Now called upon here with their season on the line again.
And it's, you know, it's not ideal to have to rely on one pitcher at this time of year to really create outs. Auburn feeling very fortunate. They were able to use Rainey for 2 innings, kind of eat up those 6 outs, only being down 1 run. But with S.J. Guerin, when you are working in the bullpen starting in September, October, all those preseason practices in January, this is the moment that you're working for, a regional final, the chance to win. And so right now, if you're S.J. Guerin, you're relying on your training. There's no place else you'd rather be.
Dack hits it high and deep, but foul. Lands over on the deck. Might have bounced out of the ballpark. She hit that one about as high as she hit it far. Hits this one in fair ground, deep, and caught on the warning track by Abby Smith, but deep enough. Torres watching that the entire way, tags and takes the 60 feet to go to third.
mean, this Florida State offense has hit some hard balls to the outfield, and right now this Auburn outfield has answered the challenge. We've seen really an outstanding play from each outfielder so far with Auburn to save some runs.
That's to right field. Tresvik ranges back and makes the catch. And they strand Torres at third. Auburn hanging in. They'll have the bottom three up when we come back, down 1-0.
Close games across the country. A lot of fun.
Will Nigeri Kennedy and Texas Tech be coming here next weekend? We'll have to wait and see. Two SEC teams would like to change that. Of course, Auburn here, Mississippi State out in Lubbock. Nice as Tresvik leading off the Tigers' bottom of the third. Great to have you with us here on ACC Network. By the way, 5 matchups today, ACC versus SEC. Of course, we got one right here. Clemson, Kentucky, Oklahoma, Cal, Bama, Virginia Tech, Duke, Georgia, all squaring off today. 0-2 to Tresvik. Chases the high hard one, and that's now 4 strikeouts of the last 5 hitters she's faced for Julia Absol.
And Absol's been having a lot of success being ahead in the count, throwing a pitch out of the zone. Auburn having a tough time laying off that pitch. It's got great velocity on it, and if you're Julia Absol, why would you throw a strike when you're ahead in the count? So far, a lot of swings and misses on that rise ball out of the zone. Auburn's going to have to make that adjustment.
Only one Auburn base runner so far. Peralta led off the bottom of the first with a walk, but was erased in a double play. So Absol's faced the minimum number of hitters, and with Lisenby popping it up behind second base, caught by Torres. That's now 2 down here in the third.
Now batting, number 20, Abby Smith.
Let's bring up Abby Smith, who had 2 tremendous games yesterday on so many different levels, whether it was with the bat, in the field, or running the bases. He had 7 plate appearances in the 2 games yesterday and reached 6 times, 3 hits, 3 walks. Made several great plays in center field, made a tremendous slide to tap the back edge of home plate to score a run. She did a little bit of everything yesterday.
Well, and Abby Smith does not have a lot of extra base hits on the year. She doesn't have to with that sort of speed, but Florida State really offsetting that with the way they have their infield defense set up. Beecham and Bueno halfway up the line. Torres and Potter in the baseline, and that outfield shifted toward left field and playing very shallow, trying to take away that little hit between the infield and outfield. So Florida State says, all right, we know you have the speed, and we know you're trying to use the ground here to get on base, so we're going to shorten the field. And then it becomes a foot race. Can Florida State pick up the ball and throw her out before she can get down to first base?
Lays down a bunt. That's a fair ball picked up by Edenfield, and the race is won by Abby Smith. You just set that up perfectly, Carol. Even though the ball only went about 5 feet in front of the plate, the race was on as soon as that ball landed fair and stayed fair.
I mean, if this isn't a lesson for slappers that the ground is your friend. If you can put the ball with the appropriate pace, just deadens it with her hands, angles down the bat, you've got a chance every time with the speed of Abby Smith.
It's the first hit of the game for the Tigers, and it turns the lineup over to Nelia Peralta. Nelia worked a walk in the first, but was erased in a double play. She's been the only other base runner besides Smith who's on now for the Tigers.
On Absol throws with good velocity, so the ball gets to Edenfield quickly. But I look for Auburn with Abby Smith at first. This is a good opportunity to try and steal second base. They have a lot of steals on the season, Smith in particular. Get a runner to scoring position for your leadoff batter.
Big wave by Peralta. He was geared up on 2-0. Geared up once again, but that ball, Abso kept it just far enough away. Get another swing and miss.
And it's getting on top of Peralta. She's late on the swing. A lot of things you can do here. Choke up, open up, shorten up, something. Put the ball in play here.
Sends it in the air to right field. Hit pretty well, but looks like it's staying in the yard. It does so on the warning track. Katie Dack makes the catch. And the Tigers strand their first base runner. When we come back to Tallahassee, we'll chat with the Hall of Fame head coach, Lonnie Alameda. Certainly one of the most highly respected and loved coaches and people around the world is softball. And we've been here a number of days. You can certainly tell with the treatments that she gets. There are certain days she doesn't have a ton of energy, and then we'll see her another day and you say, okay, the energy's there. And just have a lot of respect and love for all that she's going through and dealing with. And she's got the thoughts and prayers and love from all of us in this game.
And I think that's why you look out into the crowd. You see a lot of people wearing pink, wearing the logo. Lindsay Leftwich, head coach at NC State, made in her honor. It's all over the country. She is so well loved in the softball community, and that's why you're seeing this nationwide support. A lot of people going through the same thing she is, but we all feel connected to Lonnie, and we all want to help and fight with her. And it's just been a huge outpouring of love for her. And she says she feels it, she sees it, and she's so appreciative.
No balls and 2 strikes. Waycaser, Ross, Beecham. 5, 6, and 7 hitters for the Noles. They lead 1-0 on a game leadoff home run from Isa Torres. S.J. Guerin now in her second inning of relief for the Tigers. Guerin threw 228 pitches the last 2 days coming in. She's thrown, as you see, 17 so far today. Off-speed pitch.
Well, the good news for Guerin, and co-head coach Chris Malveaux talked about it yesterday. The one thing Guerin does not do is blow it by you. You know, she's not throwing with a lot of velocity. That's not her game. It's more to beat you with her spin and her location. So not quite as much force on every pitch.
Check swing, she went. That is a strikeout.
And you get a good look at this spin, slow pitching. Look how far ahead of the ball Haley Waycaser is. She just cannot hold up. She commits way too early, and that barrel definitely comes across the front of the plate. But those are the types of pitches, the craftiness, the spinning, the junk balls that S.J. Guerin will beat you with.
0-1 to Amaya Ross, who rolled out to short her first time up. 1 run, 2 hits for the Noles. No runs, 1 hit for the Tigers. Auburn needs to win twice today to win the regional. Florida State needs just 1 win. Guerin flips in a strike. S.J. Guerin spent her first 2 seasons with Oklahoma. Transferred this year to the Tigers. Her true freshman year 2023, redshirted with OU. Last year made 9 appearances totaling 10 innings. So she didn't pitch a lot with a team that both years she was there won the national championship.
When you're facing a pitcher like S.J. Guerin, you've got to make an adjustment. You know, you had the velocity of Rainey, and when you're facing Guerin, you've got a couple choices. You can sit and hunt the slow pitches, or you can hunt the velocity, and that's where the sequencing for Guerin comes into play. And the other thing you can do if you have speed, like Amaya Ross, is bunt the ball.
It was appealed. They say she didn't get the bat back. Went down to Jim Cooper, and he says she shortened up and offered at it, and it was a strike, so it's 2-2. What do you think?
Yes, he felt the barrel was still in the strike zone too long.
Hot shot. Cheating that way was Peralta. And she throws out Ross. Do not miss a minute of the action from these NCAA softball regionals. We'll take you to the best live action on the 7 Innings Live Show on the ESPN app. You can see every game, every big moment on the road to the Women's College World Series, only on the ESPN networks. 7 Innings Live, a good spot to be on this regional final Sunday. Beecham takes a strike. When we talked with S.J. Guerin a few days ago, we mentioned she was with the OU program for 2 years. What brought her to Auburn? And she didn't hesitate. She said, the phone call I got from pitching coach Riker chasing me. She said, when I hung up the phone, I knew pretty much right then I was going to go to Auburn. Yeah,
I mean, he had developed an entire plan for her and in training and how to get better, and then she was sold.
Low throw, but dug out by Adams. And that is 6 in a row set down by S.J. Guerin. When we come back, we'll chat with one of the co-head coaches of the Auburn Tigers, Kate Malveaux. And as you can see, the Tigers' home team in this game in Tallahassee. Issa Torres' home run to begin the game, the only tally so far. Two, 3, and 4 hitters for Auburn. Adams leads off. She rolled into a 5-4-3 double play on a 3-2 pitch back in the first, which really kind of got Julia Apsel into the groove she has been in since then. Look out, Kate. Coming your way.
Well, Julia Apsel, she's really averaged about 2.5 innings per appearance. I mean, this is a longer appearance for any of the Florida State pitchers. They usually pitch by committee, but she's having a lot of success so far. So Lonnie Alameda sticking with her.
Ground ball to third, scooped by Beecham. Jason East throws perfect. Is there something about Apsel right now in these Auburn hitters that Lonnie just really likes the matchups and the results she's seeing?
Well, the matchup is this is a team at Auburn that looks for that pitch up in the zone, and they like to hit the ball, home runs. What team doesn't? But that's what Auburn really lives by, is the long ball, hitting the ball hard, extra base hits. So they're looking for that pitch elevated. But what Apsel's been able to do with that rise spin is spin it up and out of the zone. So she's getting a lot of swings and misses, knowing Auburn is hunting that pitch up in the zone.
KK McCrary, a strikeout victim her first time. KK launched her 10th homer of the year in the late game against USF last night.
Well, with the second time through the lineup now, the Auburn hitters, what do they need to do then? First of all, lay off that pitch. That's evident. And bring it down in the zone. But if you are going to commit to it, you've got to get your barrel up high and your hands strong and stay through that high pitch.
He pumps in a strike on 2-0. 68 miles per hour. That ball's blasted dead center field and over the 220 mark. KK McCrary to the deep part of the yard has tied it up.
Good adjustment from McCrary. We were just talking about it. Apsel goes back with the rise ball. This one is not as high as she's been throwing at eye level. This one is about belt high, chest high, and McCrary stays strong through the ball, meets it out front. Apsel provides a lot of power with that velocity coming in, just as much velocity going out, and we've got a tie ball game.
11th of the year for McCrary, her 42nd RBI, and quieted the crowd here at Joanne Graff Field in Tallahassee, at least for the moment. Susanna Wohlers held out on strikes, leading off the second. And Florida State needs just one win today. Auburn needs to win this game to set up a decisive game. Fists. All in 2 strikes.
Auburn doing a much better job this time through the batting order, laying off those marginal pitches, those competitive pitches just outside of the strike zone. Saw a lot of swings and misses early in the first at bat. Much more discipline this time around.
Well, the second time through the order, when it flipped, remember Peralta ended the last inning with a pretty deep drive the other way to right field, sent Dak all the way to the track. And McCrary with the home run to center. Three-two pitch. Very patient Wohlers, who fell behind in the count and comes back to work a walk. It's the second walk issued by Apsel in her first since she walked Peralta in the first inning. Jazzy Franchik, one of the pitchers getting loose, along with Annabelle Widra. Got 3 arms getting ready for Florida State. Rose Roach at the plate for Auburn. Edenfield wants time to go out to talk to Apsel. Kind of get the feeling here, as busy as the bullpen is right now for Florida State, if she were to lose Roach here, that would probably be Apsel's last hitter.
Yeah, and you know, especially with the lefty-lefty matchup here, and Leck on deck, who has hit a lot of home runs, 3 so far in this regional. And they have so many choices in the Florida State bullpen. They have 4 pitchers this season who've thrown at least 70 innings. They've all been starters, they've all been relievers. A lot of choices over there for Coach Alameda.
Maybe good in the third one that's loosening. Check swing strike. Now the Seminoles have a deep, and for the most part, as Carol alluded to, very well rested bullpen for this regional final Sunday. Got Roach to go fishing for it. Gets Apsel ahead in the count, 1-2.
It's been the back-to-back off-speed pitches that have helped Apsel get on track.
Couldn't quite get her to fish for that one, did they? No, they appeal to Jason Smith, the third base umpire. No swing, it's 2-2.
I love the call, though. That's 3 in a row. 3 off-speed pitches in a row, and that's what you need as a pitcher. If you're a little bit off with your hard stuff, your velo pitches missing out of the zone, you've got to have that off-speed in your pocket to throw for a strike.
This is off the plate. Roach has battled back to get it to 3-2. Rollers at first, 1 out. McCrary has tied it with a solo homer in this inning. Big 3-2 pitch from Julia Apsel And that's inside ball 4, and we'll see if this is the time that Lonnie Alameda selects to make a move to her bullpen. And that is going to be the case. See if Lonnie will make the move official. Back-to-back walks on a full count each time. Well, Lonnie's not going to make a change here. He's going to stick with Absol. You surprised at all?
Well, only because there's so much depth in the Florida State bullpen, but also, and you want to win this game now. You do not want to get to the if game, but knowing Lonnie Alameda, she's got a lot of her moves planned out through the entire day if necessary. Really likes the matchup here with Absol. She has struck out Leck and Tresvik, the next 2 hitters in the order. I'm sure that has a lot to do with her decision as well.
That is an excellent point. As you just mentioned, she has struck out each of the upcoming 2 hitters in the batting order for the Tigers. So here's Leck, who went down swinging to end the second. 2 on, 1 out. First pitch misses upstairs. Leck had a pretty good cut at it, came up empty.
And another reason may be that Absol's batting average against right-handed batters, it's about 30 points lower than it is against left-handed batters. Has a lot of success because of her ability to bring that curveball inside.
Right there. Advantage Absol now at a ball and 2 strikes. Well, it was the second pitch of the sequence that Leck had a chance to put a ball in play, and then she gets the curveballs back-to-back and strikes out.
And Absol steps up to the challenge here for the second out. Really doesn't have to throw many pitches. Throws 1 pitch, throws it well. It's breaking inside to the hands, and Leck can't catch up to it.
There's Tresvik.
Món quà quý giá từ thiên nhiên.
Với sự kính trọng và thương yêu.
Nên tặng cho người thân món quà gì đây?
Who went down swinging in her first at bat, leading off the 3rd. It's been about a 25 pitch inning here for Absol. It's pushed her over the 60 mark for the game.
Same pitch she's been throwing here against Tresvik, just hasn't been able to find a strike zone. A little bit late on her release point.
Same story, 3-0. Rollers and Roach on base for the Tigers with 2 outs. Tied at 1 here in the bottom of the 4th, and taking all the way. Tresvik surveys the strike. Three-one is hit fair down the line and left, and is going to give Auburn the lead. Waller's in, waved around Roach. No relay from Torres. Tresvik, 2-run double, and Auburn has a 3-1 lead.
A good adjustment from Tresvik. She knew what was coming. Look how she opens up her front foot in order to keep her hands inside, get the barrel to the ball, and the ball finds a very deep part of the park. The senior is fired up. Auburn has the lead after the 2 free passes given up from Absol's score.
A 3-run 4th now for the Tigers. Game they need to win to set up a decisive game later today. It's popped up right near the mound, the circle, and is caught by Apsel to retire the side. So they score 3, and it all started with McCrary's second home run of the regional.
This team knows how to fight. They know how to come back, and it all starts with the long ball. KK McCrary gets them on. They add 2 more.
Abby Smith won on the track there, and even the catcher, Lisenby. This was important to get him out of the first inning as well, right by the screen. So to make an argument here, Carol, that the defense of Auburn kind of kept them in the game until their bats could come around.
Yeah, we talk about the Auburn offense all the time, and defense gets a little bit neglected. Those outfielders saved not only extra base hits, but runs from scoring for Florida State. And that defense really set the tone for their offense.
Auburn has just taken the lead with a 3-run bottom of the 4th to the top of the 5th. The 8, 9, and 1 hitters coming up for the Seminoles. Angeli Bueno walked in her first plate appearance of the game, and that was against the Tiger starter Haley Rainey, facing Guerin for the first time today. S.J. Guerin, she has started her 3rd inning of relief. Bounce towards first. Adams steps on the bag. 3 unassisted. Well, the ACC baseball tournament begins on Tuesday morning at Durham Bulls Athletic Park. All 4 first-round games are right here on ACC Network, as well as the ESPN app. The opener begins at 9 a.m. Eastern, so get up early. We'll have every game through Saturday semifinals, the championship game on ESPN2 next Sunday. We had a big ACC baseball series right next door. North Carolina ranked 4th, Florida State baseball number 2, and North Carolina clobbered the Noles first 2 games. Florida State won the finale yesterday. So ACC baseball tournament, that's right around the corner. Outer line to left. She came in as a pinch hitter for Hartley in the second state of the game and has played second base.
She was one of those hitters that was robbed of a potential extra base hit in her first at bat.
And McCrary snagged that. Strike taken, 1-2. Auburn with 3 runs on 3 hits. Florida State 1 run, 2 hits. Near the first base dugout, it's going to get out of play. Ooh, almost made a nice catch there. By the way, that's Logan manning the camera there on the first base dugout. And she has had to use more sunscreen probably than most half the state of Florida, because she has been directly in the sunlight for 3 days. Hey, Logan.
I mean, trooper.
Yes.
Well, you mentioned Florida State has 2 hits, but the same player, Isa Torres, has those 2 hits. The rest of the lineup, after really just lighting up the scoreboard in the first 2 games of this.
Off the end of the bat and a flare out to second base from Rose Roach. Well, it's going to bring up Torres, who's 2 for 2, but as you mentioned, the rest of the team now is a combined 0 for 13 with 2 walks. And the 2 hits for Torres, one was a home run that went about 220 feet. The second was a swinging bunt that went about 3 feet. Gets jammed and fouled it off her foot. That's a foul ball that rolls all the way out to Roach. Torres homered on the second pitch of the game from Auburn starter Haley Rainey, and the place exploded. Auburn's pitching, the defense has helped them navigate long enough for them to tie and then eventually take the lead in the last inning. This is put on the ground to Roach. Got her to roll over that. That is 9 in a row set down by S.J. Guerin. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th, 3-1. Riedra made the start in game 1 of this regional for Florida State against Robert Morris. Back on Friday, threw 3 scoreless innings, couple hits, 45 pitches. 9-1 and 2 hitters for the Tigers. Abby Smith leading off, had a bunt base hit her first time up.
Well, we thought Florida State was playing tight the last time Abby Smith was up. They've just taken another 2 steps in. Why? Well, she dropped it right in front of the plate and no one could get it. So they're really challenging her to go to her slap more than her short game with the bunt, where she's had so much success.
Riedra powers in a strike at 66 miles per hour. Abby Smith has reached base 8 of her last 9 plate appearances in this regional. From 2-0 to 2-2.
And a lot of those have been bunts. A few walks in there too, but from Florida State, I am taking away that bunt. I'm just going to get right up on top of the plate, force her to swing away, go to that slap.
So 4 innings from Julia Absol. Now the Noles have gone to their pen, a very deep pen with Annabelle Riedra. Riedra 2 seasons for Auburn. She actually began her career at Michigan in 2022 as a true freshman. Went to Auburn in 23, won 9 games that year, and then last year, the junior year at Auburn, she had a 1.56 ERA in SEC play for the Tigers. Just got a piece of it.
One thing Riedra does not give into very often. You saw just 8 walks on the season to go along with 70 innings pitched. That's a very low number. She's actually number 2 in the nation in terms of walk to strikeout ratio. Just really fills up that strike zone, challenges the hitter.
She paints the outside corner and gets Smith looking. It's that kind of command that helps you walk so few hitters.
Well, and that's a big out because Abby Smith has so much speed, and Auburn would have looked to continue to build on this lead. But Riedra, just this ball's bleeding away, kind of sweeping away from Abby Smith. And that's a good start for Riedra.
That was a first pitch strike to Peralta. Elias walked and flied to right. Ball shot to the alley in right center field, but it stays up long enough that Katie Dack sprinting to her right, got in the gap and made the play. Took extra bases away from Peralta.
Okay, Katie Dack reads this ball immediately off the bat, and times when she reaches for the ball, she reaches any earlier than that, it's going to slow her down, but she stays in her run, reaches, and times at just the right moment.
Couple of ground outs for Anna Lee Adams so far in this game. I think Weeder put it exactly where she wanted, near that high outside corner.
And that's been consistent. That outside corner to right-handed batters has not been called for a strike today. It has been consistent in the no call, but that is painted on the corner.
That ball past Torres and into left center field. A 2-out base hit. Adams keeps the bottom of the 5th alive for the Tigers.
She's such a tough out as a freshman. Saw the same pitch back to back. Doesn't try to do too much with it. It's a curveball on the outer part of the plate. Lets it get deep and takes it right back up the middle. Such a savvy hitter for a freshman. Learns very quickly in the box.
Base hit for Adams is the 20th 2-out hit for Auburn this weekend. They haven't had many 3-up, 3-down innings, though there were arguably a couple of them early in this game today. Crowds. McCrary, whose home run an inning ago tied the game. And her teammates, 4 batters later, Tresvik gave him the lead with a 2-run double down the left field line. Gary got a pitch to hit there, 2-0, but took it right down central. Sends that one through the hole and into left field. Prairies had a very good regional here in Tallahassee, and that's back-to-back 2-out hits here for the Tigers.
Well, we knew coming in, this Auburn team, they are battle-tested. They've been battling in the SEC, and they have seen all kinds of high-quality pitching day in and day out, so they are prepared for this moment. It's nothing new to them to see a variety of pitchers. They're able to adjust quickly.
Georgia Lessman off the bench, by the way. She's going to run at second base for Adams.
Number 5, Georgia Lessman. Number 22, Anna Woolers.
And a left-handed bat at the plate. Third baseman Anna Woolers going after the first pitch. Shoots a foul. One hit so far in the regional for Wohlers. It was a triple. Actually, 2 hits for Wohlers in the series. One of those was a triple against Robert Morris. You know, you mentioned the zone, and you were totally fair, Carol. It's been a very consistent zone from all the plate umpires, but it's been a very tight zone all weekend. Hit to right center field, deep and off the scoreboard. 10th homer of the year for Anna Wohlers. And it is a silencer here at Joanne Graff Field, except for the cheering around home plate, and Auburn is up 6-1.
This is a confident team in Auburn right now, swinging aggressively. This pitch is down in the zone. Wohlers takes her barrel, and she's able to elevate the ball. Look at the emotion on the face of Wohlers. Finishes her swing, uses her backside to get that elevation. I tell you what, Auburn has come to play today. After falling behind early, they do what they do best. They know how to come back. And now they're in charge in this game.
If after the second pitch of this game, Carol, when Torres homered to left center field to start the game, and this place went absolutely bananas, I had told you at that point in the bottom of the 5th it'd be 6-1 Auburn, you would look at me like I had a hole in my head probably. can't say it enough. Boy, you got to give Auburn a lot of credit. This is a team that's gotten off the mat after what was
started SEC play 0-12, and a lot of teams would have packed it in. You've got a new coaching staff. You're down for the count. Not Auburn. They have fought. They won 3 of their last 4 SEC series.
That's a strike. And that will make it a full count. Yeah, they started 0-12, but they went 500 the rest of the way in conference. Went 6-6 the last 12. Puts that ball in the air to right center field. Hit pretty well, but it's going to be gone again. Roach's 5th of the year. She says, I don't need to take the walk. She comes back and makes it back-to-back home runs for Auburn.
The 3rd home run of the game for Auburn. This pitch left way too over the middle of the plate by Widra, and Roach does not miss. This team is on fire right now. Hitting is contagious. Kerr makes a good effort, but it's over the fence, and Auburn has come storming back in this game to take a commanding lead.
What has happened here in the last 2 innings in Tallahassee? It was 1-0 Florida State going to the bottom of the 4th. And after a 3-run 4th, Auburn has scored 4 here in the 5th, all with 2 outs. It was bases empty, 2 outs, when Adams singled to extend the inning. Single McCrary, 3-run homer. Wohlers, and now Roach follows that with a home run off the scoreboard. We told you Auburn, their hitting with 2 outs in this regional has been off the charts, and that's been the case in the last 2 innings.
It's been so, that is aggressive and confident. They're going to turn to Mimi Gooden, who has only pitched 11 innings so far this season. Looking to get this final out of the 5th inning that's been so evasive for Florida State. She's going to throw in the low 60s, works down in the bottom of the zone, and she creates a lot of ground ball outs if she's on her game.
And elect coming up. So a 7-1 lead for Auburn. First pitch down low, but let's look at the big picture here. Florida State came in playing with house money, so to speak, knowing that they could lose a game and not see their season end. If they were to fall in this game, you still got a fresh Francic, Danley, ready in your bullpen if you need them in a second game today. And on the other side, a very thin bullpen for Auburn if it gets to a second game today. Out to center field, and that's run down by Kerr. But it's been a stunning reversal here over the last 2 innings, Carol, in Tallahassee.
And Auburn, you don't think they've come to play today? It's a regional final. They are fired up. Lots of senior leadership, lots of home runs. Auburn with a commanding lead.
(7-1). Florida State bats top of the 6th. And Auburn trying to make supers for the first time since 2017, but they need to win this game and a second game today to do that. And with that in mind, if you're Auburn, Florida State still has 6 outs to play with here, down 6. S.J. Guerin starting her 4th inning of relief. I don't think there's any way, shape, or form you can risk taking her out, hoping that you get to the decisive game and risk losing this game. There's no way that you can pull her, can you?
No, I mean, and right now, S.J. Guerin is in a good rhythm. He's in a good tempo. And there's something to be said, sure, Florida State's going to see her maybe 1, 2 more at-bats in this game if they're not able to come back, but what that can do too is plant some more seeds of doubt in these Florida State hitters if they're not squaring her up and seeing the ball well.
Guerin's fallen behind 3-0 here on Kerr. Heart of the order up for the Noles, 2, 3, and 4. Guerin was not the starting pitcher, so if you took her out here, she can't re-enter the game like you can the starting pitcher. Kerr is lined to right. She was robbed by Tresvik back in the first inning. And laid down a sac bunt last time up. Top foul, and it's gone from 3-0 to 3-2. Fourth time this year that Florida State has trailed a game by 6 or more runs. They got down 10-0 to Texas A&M in that game. It's the largest deficit they've faced all year. After getting back in the count, Guerin misses, ball 4. Kerr's on to begin top of the 6th, and it's such an explosive Florida State offense. If you're their opponent, you're never comfortable out there.
No, I mean, you especially playing here at Joanne Graff Field, where they've had so much success over the years in April and May and in postseason play. They believe they can come back from this deficit. They certainly have the hitters to do so.
Dak takes ball 1 in the dirt. And Riker Chasen, the pitching coach for the Tigers, is strolling out to the circle. Well, S.J. Guerin threw 228 pitches during the first 2 days of this regional. She's added nearly 50 more here in this game. So she's, what, north of 280 pitches here in Tallahassee.
And she has looked strong in this game so far since she's come in. The leadoff walk there to Kerr and falling behind to Dak. That's the conversation from Riker Chasen. But in general in this game, she's been in complete command. And her defense, more importantly, most importantly, has played well behind her, taken away a few hits.
Floats in a strike. Guerin has 22 wins on the season. She won twice yesterday. ERA coming into today a little under 3 at 2.94. Far and away has been really the ace of their staff for the Tigers. Dak, a ground out to the right side. His fly to center. Nobody out in the Florida State 6th. That drops low.
The patience shown by Dak. We've seen Guerin really fall behind for the first time in this game since she's been in the game. Having a little trouble with the off-speed pitch, the location.
Well, fell behind Kerr, got it back to 3-2 and walked her. Fell behind Dak. Now takes that to 3 balls and 2 strikes. It happens in a hurry. Onto the berm and left. 2-run shot for Dak, her team leading 15th. And look out for the Noles. It's now 7-3.
It's the patience in this at-bat that led to the elevated pitch with a full count. Dak knew it off the bat. She is on time, gets a full swing on it, finishes her swing. It was a no-doubter. That was a line drive, got out of here in a hurry, but it was the patience shown. She was able to lay.
Not allowed a hit since that bunt in the 3rd. two-run home run. It gets Florida State within slam range, as they say, down 4. Edenfield geared up, got off speed on the first pitch. Auburn hit back-to-back homers in the last inning. And Edenfield on that first swing was trying to do the same here for Florida State.
Well, she's a seasoned veteran, but looked like she let the moment get to her a little bit there, a little amped up. Saw her take a deep breath after that swing. Had to get herself back in a good place.
Caught it off the end of the bat and fouled it back. Clemens is up in the bullpen for Auburn. Jaylee Clemens gets loose. We'll try to get Guerin to get some more outs. Got under that. It's going to stay in the ballpark on left field from McCrary. But Guerin's starting to leave some pitches over the fat part of the plate here.
I think Michaela Edenfield would like to have that one back. You are so right, Mark. That was elevated and right down the middle. Just a little bit of an overswing from Edenfield. You know, and that's the challenge at this time of year. Which team can play just like they've been playing all season long? Not let the moments get too big. Play within yourself. Not change your swing, not change how you're pitching, just being able to be present in the moment.
Two better pitches to start this sequence from Guerin. She gets ahead 0-2. Just inside to Waycaser. Alley is grounded to third and struck out. And an RBI double in game 1 of the regional against Robert Morris, and hits a line drive to left, right at McCrary. Another hard hit ball by Florida State, but McCrary barely had to move to make the play in left field. Here's the DP, Amaya Ross, coming off her first multi-homer game yesterday. A couple homers against South Florida. Grounded out to short twice today. Peralta cheating over towards the hole on the left side. Ross takes a strike.
Ross is such a good story. You know, really didn't play a whole lot her freshman year, sophomore year, more of a role player, pinch hitter, defensive player, and has just worked so hard and stayed with the program, liked the culture of this program, and that led to more opportunities, specifically this year. You know, it's very easy in this day and age to transfer and go to another program if you're not getting that instant gratification. And for a lot of people, transferring is the right decision for a variety of reasons. But there's something to be said about staying in the grind and working and getting your chance.
Ground ball to third, gathered by Wohlers, and on to first to retire the side. So Guerin, after the two-run homer by Dak, able to get the next three.
Well, Florida State not going away. A two-run home run from Katie Dak.
Home half of the sixth. No, they're going to take at least a 4-run lead to the top of the seventh. First pitch strike to Tresvik. A couple of changes Florida State. Hartley's come back into the game playing second base. Maddie Fry is now doing the catching. There's Fry behind the plate now for taking the spot of Edenfield. Prestwick had a big 2-run double in that 3-run fourth. Gave Auburn the lead. Without a doubt, her biggest hit over the last few weeks, if not month, for the Tigers. Takes upstairs, 2-2. And Auburn needs to win twice today. Florida State needs just one win. If Auburn were to hang on and win this game, we'd have a decisive game about a half hour after the conclusion. Prestwick goes down swinging. And Gooden picks up her first strikeout.
Now batting, number 11, Aubrey Lisenby.
Aubrey Lisenby, the Tigers catcher, has popped out a couple of times. But has had a good regional with the bat. Five hits for her in the regional for Lisenby.
And you get that type of production in the 8th spot in your batting order. Really the 7, 8, 9 hitters for Auburn in this entire regional have been very productive. Amelia Leck actually started in the 7th spot of the order. She's now in the 6th spot of the batting order. She's moved up because of her ability to generate hits, especially the long ball. 3 home runs in this regional, but Lisenby's hasn't been the home run, but she's been productive.
Seven runs, 7 hits for the Tigers. 3 runs, 3 hits for Florida State. The ball was right hit on her, and she still turned on it and pulled it well foul. Yeah. Get a photo, but we'll need that back. Looking ahead to the Florida State 7th. You got the bottom 3 due up. Beecham, Bueno, Hartley now in that spot. Once again to the 9 hole. On the ground towards third base past Beecham, but there was Torres right there. Come up with it and make a strong throw to get Lisenby. It's probably a good thing that Beecham didn't come up with that ball.
Yeah, anything it doesn't have a lot of pace. You want your third baseman to cut off as much as possible so it's not on the ground a long time. Beecham made her best effort, but yes, Torres showing off her arm as well from the hole in shortstop.
Count looking in the 5th. And has reached base 7 of her last 9 plate appearances in this regional. Shortens up. I don't know if the corner infielders can really play any tighter than they are right now.
Hey, but the adjustment worked in the last at bat. You know, they forced Abby Smith to swing away a little bit. And when I say swing away, go into her slap. And she's been so impactful with the short game. Everything, she's such good touch on the ball. She angles down the bat, gets the top of the ball, puts it right down into the dirt. And with her speed, she's been able to be safe so many times in this regional. So you got to take that away if you're Florida State.
That's ball 4. Crowd doesn't like the ball 4 call, and then puts a dangerous runner on base, and Smith, who's certainly capable in this situation of trying to swipe a bag here.
Number 13, Amelia Peralta.
Again, keep in mind you have Fry catching now and not Edenfield for Florida State. Top of the order, Peralta looks at strike one. I don't think Nelly liked that call.
Everybody's been an umpire today.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Mark.
Well, aren't we
a lot
always?
of intensity. True.
Peralta 0 for 2 with a walk. Lined out to right field, deep right field last time up. Ball that Katie Dack caught on the warning track. Pulled fair down the line and left, and with the speed of Smith, they're going to wave her around, and she's going to score easily from first base on a double by Peralta. And Auburn extends the lead back to 5.
And it's been the free passes for Florida State that's led to a lot of runs. Timely clutch hitting. This time it's Peralta. Good adjustments from Auburn. Florida State's been working those right-handed batters inside all day long. They've been backing off the plate, opening that left foot a little bit, and able to get the barrel out in front, keep the ball fair.
37th RBI of the year for Peralta. I'll tell you, just watching Abby Smith when that ball went down the line, I think she had barely gotten to second base, and Kate Malveaux was already waving around at third like, no, you're going here with 2 outs. It wasn't even close. Gooden able to corral it. With the underhand toss to Bueno to retire the side. With Auburn doing what they do, a 2-out rally, add a run. Last chance for FSU when we come back. They are 0-5 all-time in regional play against Florida State. It would be their first win against Florida State in the NCAA tournament in regional play. They have played them in other advanced, including College World Series, Women's College World Series. Beecham takes inside. And the last time Auburn softball actually just won a game on this field against Florida State, it's been over 10 years. March 25th of 2015, a regular season game was won by Auburn here over Florida State on that date in 2015. That's the last time Auburn softball has beaten Florida State here at Joanne Grant Field. Bullet hit foul by Beecham.
Well, there's no doubt she'll be ready to go if this game does end in Auburn's favor. She'll be ready to go in the next one as well. The question is, will she start the game, or will Auburn try to do what they did here in the first game, have another one of their pitchers start, see if they can get through the order one time, just take some outs off of the arm of S.J. Guerin. But Guerin has been very strong, Mark. She's really given up only a couple pitches that she's given into.
Strike 3 call on the 3-2 pitch. Beecham was headed up the line. Making ball 4. And that's out number 1 in the 7th.
You take a look at that pitch. It floats into
Decisive game. And you bring her in, then you got to leave her in the game like you've done in this one. But if you start her, and maybe she gets into a few situations, you take her out, you can bring her back in. Do you lean one way or the other that you expect to see if indeed Auburn wins this game?
Yeah, or if your team gets a lead, then you can bring her in. Yeah. I like to look at it in a decisive game like that, or a championship game, or when you're just questioning yourself, who do I want to start the game? To me, the question isn't who do you want to start, it's who do you want to finish? Who do you want in at the end of the game? And if you start Guerin, it does give you more opportunities. She can go the whole game, or she can, as you mentioned, start the game, come out, come back in. If she doesn't start the game, then you just got to hope she holds on the entire game.
That pitch right there from Guerin was her 300th of this regional. and her 72nd of today. Bueno takes a strike, 2-2.
Well, you got to remember, Guerin is not a big strikeout pitcher. I mean, she does not have a lot of strikeouts in those 300 pitches that she's had here in the regionals and the innings that she's pitched. She's more crafty, gets a lot of weak ground balls, weak fly balls, so she throws quite a few pitches as well. Fouls off, just like Bueno's doing here. So it's not like it's, you know, 1, 2, 3. You think of a Nyjah Kennedy, maybe a Jordy Ball, where they can average 4 pitches per batter because their ability to get a lot of swings and misses and pound the strike zone. With S.J. Guerin, it's a lot of pitches per batter to get the out.
Whacked into center field, and right there is Abby Smith, and Auburn is 1 out away from forcing the decisive Game 7 here in Tallahassee. Watching the bug up top there, you got Tennessee 5-0 on Ohio State. That is now over, so the Lady Vols have become the first team to clinch a spot in next week's Super Regionals.
Now batting, number 9, Shelby McKenzie.
Florida State Shelby McKenzie's come off the bench here, but Lisenby's got a little issue with the wristband. McKenzie takes in the dirt.
This is a familiar spot for Shelby McKenzie. She's been at 20 at-bats as a pinch hitter and 9 hits in that role. So hitting .450 as a pinch hitter, you don't see that too much across the country. She's very familiar in this role.
A home run against USF yesterday. She is 2 for 3 in this regional, and a lot of the Florida State fans were hoping that they'd be heading home about this time. Out in the dirt. 2 balls and a strike. Held away by McKenzie. Florida State down to their final strike. 8-3 Auburn. The Auburn Tigers have forced a decisive Game 7 in the Tallahassee Regional. They beat Florida State by a final of 8-3.
And they earned this victory. Home runs throughout the lineup. S.J. Guerin was a warrior in the circle, really shut down this high-powered Florida State offense. This is a determined team. They know how to outlast other teams.